Good morning, Smarties. How are you? I am skating in here on two wheels to the studio this morning. Lots going on here in the Bank Smart household. Lots going on. The Bank Smart Tots had no school yesterday because they go to a private school and it was Holy Monday. So we had a whole day to ourselves, which was so fun. And I'm just catching up, trying to fit in all the errands that I could this morning before they went to school and after I dropped them off and before I started the show. So we're trying to fit all the things in today. I have new glasses. They're blue light, and you're going to see that they're going to bounce off that's going to be annoying. So we're going to have to figure that out. The other ones didn't do that, but we're going to figure it out. I tend to put my head up a lot because I do this, but we're going to try not to do that today. Okay. Does that sound good with everyone? How's your morning going? Yeah? Drop in the chat where you're tuning in from. Yeah, whether you're riding into work, you're already on the teller line, you're taking a quick little break, it's your day off. Lots going on, lots going on. It's so good to see everyone. I got a couple things on the agenda for today. Let's move this around. Should we tell Twitter that we're live or just let them figure it out? So I didn't prepare a graphic. Oh, well, I kind of did. Maybe we could do that together. Maybe we could do that together. I'm going to post, hold on. Did my phone sync? This is a very important question. Yes, it did. Okay, so we're going to put this right here. Little C. So my daughter goes by Little C because I am the original C. And she is Little C. She made me the most adorable picture. And it might be our new logo. And I'm going to show it to you. But first, let me get it prepped up on the Twitter here to let everyone on Twitter know that we're live here at the studio because I didn't have time to prep this. So good morning, Smarties. We're live over. Is this how we work here in the socials? In retail banking, we're always on the fly. Yeah, why not? This is how we work best, just making it happen. I'm so excited. We have 57 subscribers to our channel. Can you believe that? 57. I only need 1,000 before YouTube will consider me a big deal. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. Yep. So we say, hey, Smarties, we're live over in the studio. Let's start off with some around the web news, and we'll take it from there. Hashtag banking. Hashtag Bank Smart Studio. Hashtag, let's see, what's another one? We'll do credit unions. We don't really care. Okay. Okay, cool. Oh, but that doesn't go to our today's stream. See, when we rush, we make mistakes. When we rush, we make mistakes. Okay, we'll do this quick. Share, copy, bam. I need an intern. Oh, wait, we should talk about that today. I need an intern. Post. Okay, perfect. All right. Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Carrie Cormier. I am the host here at Bank Smart Studio. A little bit about me. I'm a financial services executive by trade, currently taking a much needed sabbatical from corporate life and using that time to pursue all the passion projects and ideas that I've had in my head and in my heart for quite some time. One of them being Bank Smart Studio. So this idea started over 10 years ago, and I'm excited to finally bring it to life. My background is in retail banking and digital strategy. I've built branches, closed branches, expand markets, product launches, marketing campaigns, tech projects, core conversions, card swaps, you name it, I've done it. And I'm excited to talk about that and bring that experience here at the studio. I've led large teams, I've led small teams, and it's just so fun. Most days, Although my background is in retail and digital banking, um, I am a rogue marketer and social media nerd at heart. So you'll see that a lot of things that we talk about here at the studio are through that lens. And I do feel like I'm a digital banking girl in a passbook savings world, because sometimes a lot of the things that I talk about are like, "Whoa, Carrie, what are you doing?" I feel like y'all are starting to catch up. I'm surrounding myself with some really cool people. So you all are part of that. Okay. So even if you think I'm a little crazy, it's fine. It's fine. We're all catching up and we're doing this together. That's the point of the studio. It's not just we're not just doing like a podcast where I talk at you. This is a conversation hub. This is a place to bounce ideas, to share, to amplify, to pick things apart and brainstorm together. And then later on in the year, we're going to be launching some really exciting other things as part of the studio. So I'm keep teasing that out every other show or so. But we have more coming soon, and I'm so excited to share. Cool, cool. So, as we talked about last week, this is a big month for financial literacy and financial capability. So, it is known as National Financial Literacy or National Financial Capability Month. And this week, which today is, today is April 7th, but yesterday was April 6th, which kicks off America Saves Week. Is everyone at their bank celebrating America Saves Week in some way, shape, or form? A little bit about America Saves Week. So it's a nonprofit organization that uses principles of behavioral economics and social marketing to motivate, encourage, and support everyday Americans to save money, reduce debt, build wealth, and create better financial habits. So it's really cool. And it started in 2007 and has been an annual celebration and call to action since. So it does have some like social resources online. So I'm going to put this in the chat. And now this isn't any way, shape, or form me saying if you're not doing anything, you need to do it now. I'm going to put okay, I can just paste it. I don't need to write something snarky. You guys are all here with me. The replay crew will get it. But they have some good resources on the website. Don't feel like if you're doing it now, you need to, or not doing it now, you need to throw something together and celebrate it. But check it out, and maybe it's something you want to participate in next year. They have some great resources on their website that make it easy. I'm going to pull this up because we'll talk a little bit about the theme. They have a theme every year. So let me put the desktop. Oh, first. Okay, hold up, Carrie. Hold up. I casually mention our new logo and I don't even tell you because I'm so excited to chat. Like I haven't been around adults in days. Can you tell? I like jump right into talking to my friends here. Okay, back it up. So we have a new logo. Okay, it was designed by Little C. Okay. It is a portrait. It says Bank Smart Carrie. Does it look beautiful? Now, you say, wow, that's cute. What's going on? Yes, these are removable glasses. Hold on. You can remove them and put them up here if you want to wear your glasses on or if you want to take them off. You have options. Isn't this adorable? She's so good. So we put the glasses back on. Okay. And now you might wonder, why is it all wrinkled? Did we not like it? No, that's not it. She folded it really small and hid it in an Easter egg for me. So now we have to probably iron it so I can frame it for here in the studio because this is just too gorge. So this is going to be our new logo. And I did book her. She is going to be on the show. I will share the date soon. We're deciding between two dates. So it's going to be an after hours show because she can't get out of school. They don't give her credits for being on a YouTube presentation at school. So it's either going to be, let's see, maybe either Thursday, the 23rd at night, or Monday, the 20th or 27th. I'm not sure which one at night. It depends, because Monday she has gymnastics, and she's sometimes she's really energized after and would love to do a presentation. Other times she's really tired after and doesn't want to. So the Thursday may be the best one because she doesn't have any activities and we could do it after school. But it will be a nighttime show, and she's so excited. She did a practice run because we got some wireless mics, and she is like ready to roll. And I am not exploiting her for likes and views, although we know she will bring the likes and views. She is just like so ready for this and has been begging. So we're gonna let her do it. We're gonna let her do it. Okay. All right. Sorry. Back to adulting. So we're gonna add this. So this is a little bit about America Saves Week. So the overall theme for this year, it is called Own Your Financial Story, Small Steps, Big Impact. And then it breaks down each day, has like a different topic that goes with it. So you'll see here the topics. Monday was building a strong foundation. Tuesday, expect the unexpected. Tomorrow is dream big. Wednesday, plan with purpose. Thursday, rewrite the debt narrative. Friday, your story, your future. And when you do share or post or engage, there is hashtag ASW 2026. And you can get the digital toolkit right on the website, which is like so amazing. Yeah, they do a great job. I wonder, what I don't know is they used to do live Twitter chats, which were phenomenal. And I don't know if they still do them, but I used to love jumping in the Twitter chat. So if you follow them on Twitter, maybe check in and see if they're doing Twitter chats, because I found so many good resources there, and also made connections with so many good other like bankers that were talking about the same thing, or even not just bankers. There was a bunch of people over at Experian that were great at social, and they would always jump in. So I love chatting with them, and it's just a great way to connect and make connections. So I'm actually not sure if they're doing it, but definitely worth checking on that. They did a great job. Yeah. I love that. So I'm interested in hearing what your banks and credit unions are doing for this month, this week. I'm seeing a lot on social already. A lot of it is just the generic, hey, it's America Saves Week. Did you know if you put $5 aside every week, you can get this at the end of the year? That's wonderful. It helps, certainly. Like we talked about, though, the last show, we need to start moving towards capability and get beyond just the education. And I posted a little thing on LinkedIn, and I got some great feedback about how this just felt so spot on. That it's time to start the shift, and not just focus on like, hey, yeah, here's a credit score, but like, how can we empower our consumers and our communities to actually put this into action and be successful with it? And I think that's really the missing key there. And I'm sure that a lot of you have so many stories of how you've been able to do this in your own institutions, and just bringing those to life would be incredible, and sharing them. And if you're not sharing them externally, share them internally, because it's a great way to inspire or prompt colleagues to do the same, right? So like, say example, you had a customer or a member that you were able to help, and this is what you did, and this is how you went above and beyond to offer and met their need and a product and save them money, whatever it is, right? And it had an impact. When you tell that story and when you keep sharing it, it kind of like sparks this little motivation within others to either maybe look for similar opportunities, or to be able to like push themselves a little more to really help, and not just oh yep, you need a savings account to help put money, like really finding a way to connect, right, with that consumer. One of my first episodes, I talked about how I was helping a friend of mine in early 20s, and she doesn't have an established credit history. And so I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. Do you mind if I help you? I tend to like take over these things because I like just know how to get it done. And she's like, no, I need this help. I know, no one really taught me. And so we went to her credit union and said, hey, do you want she used like to open up a secured card, and in one of the videos I tell about the whole process. But what I really would have liked to close that loop, right? And I'm doing this to check in with her, but her credit union should be doing this. So she opens up the secured card, puts 500 down, and is able to use it. And the guy, Trevor, Trent, whatever his name was, here's my business card. Call me if you have any questions. That's the best you could do. This girl has a whole financial future ahead of her, and that's the best you could do. What if it was, I don't know, hey, I'm going to check in with you in a month. Would that be okay? Right around when your first payment's due, and we can kind of talk about how it's going, any questions you have. Or he did give her a little tip that said, his suggestion, and I don't know how much I buy into this or not. I mean, there's some schools of thought on it. He said, hey, if you spend $100 on your card, you want to pay off $99 and leave $1 that month to roll over to the next month to show that you're carrying a balance. I get that. I get that school of thought. I don't hate it. Was really the extent of his counseling. And I really think there was an opportunity there for him to move from literacy to capability and help her and come up with a plan to check in. And it could just be like a quick email. It could be a quick phone call. It could be like pre-making an appointment. And then doing it again, maybe in another month or 2 months. And I think that would have such a huge impact. And I try to check in with her, and I know I ask consent when I do it because I want to be very mindful of not butting into other people's financial business, especially because like I have no tie into that. Like, it's not like I work at her credit union or anything like that. But I, say, hey, do you mind like if I offer some advice or ask some questions, or, would this be helpful? And, she's really great. She always says yes. I'll check in, like, how's your budget going? She got her hours cut at work because she had some health issues. So it's just been like this big thing, but like, these are things your bank would want to know. And if you just ask, they'll tell you. Isn't that like incredible? Just ask. When people are going on vacation, what their dog's name is. Okay. All of their grandchildren. They bring you chocolates on holidays. They bake you coffee cake, but like maybe you could just ask if you could check in with them. That would be cool. And now if you're a retail leader, what about setting goals around that? Like, and not just stupid calls, right? Like, we're not talking calls, and I'm getting off on a tangent, but this is the Carrie show because it's the Carrie show. We can talk about whatever I want on the Carrie show. Okay. What if, like, as a retail leader or like a head of retail, what if you set goals around this, like meaningful impacts where you can check in with these kind of consumers? And now this individual is in like your prime demographic. Love that you call your CD customers. Don't get me wrong. I know she has $400,000 and her CD is going to renew, and she's going to rate shop, but you're going to make sure to call. Like, love it. That's great. Something for everyone. But these target markets now are so transient. They'll leave you in a heartbeat. But if you're their emotional support banker, write that down. Emotional support banker. We're going to write that one down. My whiteboard markers are in. I just got to get my whiteboard set up. Emotional support banker. That should be like a whole other topic. Quote of the day. If you're their emotional support banker, like, you win them. And so it's something to think about as we go through this month. I'm not asking you to change course. A lot of you have your month planned out. But if there are small things you can incorporate that make a difference, that help us move from literacy to capability, from education to execution, I think that is so huge, and then definitely as you start to plan your calendars and, goals for next year, 100%, that should be on the radar, and it's so important and so impactful, and a lot of the things that we do now that maybe we can just ramp up and put a focus around. Um, cool, cool. So, I saw an interesting article, and this is relating. It is not a new article. So, realtor.com, okay. This is a repurposed article from November of 2025, but they're resharing it a lot and it's gaining some traction. So it's worth mentioning, especially as we talk about financial literacy, financial capability, um, America Saves Week, and we're in the spring home buying season. Okay. Everyone wants to love up their realtor centers of influence now because it's hot to trot. Okay, but you gotta love them up all year long. Um, but so the headline is the typical first-time home buyer is now 40 years old, which is a record high. Isn't that wild? 40 years old. The median age of first-time home buyers rose to 40 in 2025 from 38 the year before and up sharply from 33 just 5 years ago. Can you believe that? And this is according to the annual profile of home buyers and home sellers released by the National Association of Realtors. That's incredible. Like, so, and there's like nothing about me because there's again two schools of thought on this. Um, there's nothing about me that says people have to own homes. Okay. Owning a home, in my mind, does not make you any better, does not make you any more financially savvy. None of that, because those that do not own homes do have the option, the ability to invest in other ways that can provide even more of a return. People will say, oh, well, you're just throwing money away on rent and you're not making a return. If you do the numbers, studies can show that you can not purchase a home and invest the difference that you would are not spending on landscaping and water and sewer bills and redoing the roof every couple of years and reinvesting that money into the stock market, and you actually get a better return on the than you would a house. And now that's not for everyone, okay, but it's just to show that, like, I don't necessarily believe that home ownership is the way to go. It's the way to go for me. It works for me and my family. But I'm not here to say it works for everyone. But I saw where is it? What was I getting my phone for? Loving up your realtors. Was I gonna look at a picture of me buying my home? When did I buy my I think that was it. I it is now 2026 and I bought my house in this 11 years ago. Um, doing some math here. Okay, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. So there's this thought that, oh my gosh, you need to buy a home. You're a loser if you don't. And even like the individual I was talking with about building her credit, she's like, how do you have this nice house? And like, I'm gonna tell you right now, like, my house is mediocre. Okay, I do not have a grand house. It is nice for us. It is an old 1910 colonial. We live here in New England, so it's got some New England charm, but it is by no means a sprawling estate. But to a young, if I went back in time and I said to my 22-year-old self I was going to have this home, I would be blown away because, like, it just feels so unattainable. And so I was talking to her and she's like, how do you do all this? I'm never going to have anything. And I'm like, honey, because I feel like I can just call people honey sometimes. Like, It's fine, right? She's cool with it. Honey, like your whole life is ahead of you. At 22, I was living in my mother-in-law's basement. Like we just we live and we learn and we grow, and everything that we do takes us on a path that we're meant to be on. So people shouldn't compare themselves to others. And so talking about this, I bought my first home at 31, and I say first, like I've owned many. No, I've bought my home at 31. And it's funny because then I felt so far behind. I had so many friends and people that I knew that had, they had homes since we were 21, and like, what was I doing? I'm such a loser. We're never going to have anything nice. And it's so weird because I look back and I was just a baby. Just a baby. If you know, you know. But like when you look at this data, okay, so even just 5 years ago, the average age was 33. So I would say I was right on track. And so now the average, the median age is up to age 40. So I say there's nothing wrong with that, but it tells us some data, right? Why is the average age 40? Are Is this age more transient? Do they want the opportunity to move around, to not plant their roots somewhere so fast? Maybe. I've seen a lot of that people feel like they need to go out and explore, and having a piece of property holds you down and makes you not want to, makes you feel like you're smothered and can't leave, perhaps. Um, Obviously, there's a financial component. Things are so expensive now that it's hard to purchase a house. Like if you were to, now again, I bought my house 10 years ago, but if the going price of my house would be double what it is when I bought it. And that is just absolutely wild to me because I wouldn't be able to afford it now, even though I make probably 4 times what I was making at the age that I bought it. Like, just things are so expensive. And it's so crazy because, like, I think that's a huge piece of it. So this is a long way of just like picking out pieces of data that as we go through our lives in financial institutions, how we're servicing our clients, how we're talking to them about home ownership. Like if you're just doing the old school, like, oh, hey, do you want to meet our mortgage person? And I'm going to send a referral because you don't have a house. So the referral engine says, if no home ownership, then offer mortgage referral. Like, don't do that. Okay. We need to understand people's stories better and have actual conversations with them. And I think this is a really great way to do it. And so in this article, I should drop the article in the chat too. Let's do that. Let me grab the article. It actually links into multiple articles, so you can go down like a rabbit hole. Smart read. With like sub facts and data, which I think is amazing. I know it's amazing because I only read like a couple of them, but it has so much good like tidbits in there. But it talks about that affordability remains a key struggle for first-time buyers, with home prices at record highs, elevated mortgage rates, and the total cost of purchasing. So it talks about that 7 out of 10 millennials. Now, millennials are what? 1982 to 98, 97, something like that. I'm just going off the top of my head. So these are people that are already like late 20s to mid 40s. All right. So this is in that window of home ownership that we're talking about, average age being 40. So they could be a little bit beyond that. They could be coming up on it. 7 out of 10 of them are counting on an inheritance to plan their own future, hoping that there will be a transfer of wealth from the previous generation or generations before that to be able to fund their home ownership. Now, I don't know if that means that there's actually wealth coming, or that they're just crossing their fingers for it, because I know I have some in-laws that are crossing their fingers that wealth is coming and it's not coming. Yeah, joke, erase. Okay. Um a recent advisor authority study from Nationwide Retirement Institute found that 58% of millennials believe they can only buy a home or adequately save for retirement, not both. 58% are choosing retirement or home ownership. 58% are making a choice. And now I think that is so interesting, because that goes twofold, right? You can talk about what that means for your clients, your customers, or your members. But you can talk about what that means for your employees, your team. Okay. So if you have, now we're just talking like millennials here. Okay. Can you imagine what that is for Gen X or Gen Alpha? That's got to be much higher. So what can you do to help them now? So we're just going to talk about our employees for a second, because if we're not helping our team, that starts first. And I think I've told all of you, I was an accidental saver. I started my job, I think 19 or 20, and I go into the HR office and I'm filling out my first day paperwork, and I know nothing about 401ks other than you're supposed to do it to save for retirement. And it's the smart thing to do. But like, I knew nothing. So I asked the HR lady, and I'm like, "Hey, so like what percentage do I do here? Like I don't know, like." And she's like, "Well, we match up to 5, but people do anywhere from, 2%, 1% to whatever you want to do, right?" And I was like, "Well, they match up to 5. I'm going to do 10." So, fortunately, unfortunately, I have been saving 10% of my income since age 19, which is wonderful because that is funding the sabbatical. But it also, and now this is not financial advice, because this is also very bad financial advice, but it funded the down payment for my house. I was able to take a loan off my 401k to put $30,000 down on my house, because I didn't have a penny to scrape together otherwise. Right? And this is 10 years ago, 11 years ago. I didn't have a penny to scrape together for a down payment on a house. And so I think about it. Now, if I had been, let's assume that I have all the knowledge at age 19 that I do now, and I know how to do this. Could I have reasonably saved up money for a down payment and put maybe a little less in my retirement and use the other money to put aside? Maybe, but I probably would have blown it. I like to spend back then. It was fun. It was like a high. I'm completely opposite now. But you think that more things and more stuff like fill a hole that you have in your life, and it doesn't. Um, but at that point, like, I had made a choice, right? So I made the conscious choice not to be saving for a home, but to save for retirement. Maybe it was an unconscious choice. But I look back and I'm just so dumb. Or not dumb. That's rude. Don't talk about my Carrie like that. It's more of like, and I think this is what goes to what I'm trying to say, is we have employees within our teams that just don't know this stuff, and they should. And what are we doing? And that's on our list of things to talk about, to do a session just on empowering our teams with financial knowledge and capability. But there are people amongst us that don't know these things and how to save, and how are we helping them, if we have employees that are making the choice between saving for retirement, saving for a house, or just plain putting food on the table every week, right? What are we doing? So if you're an HR professional, it's always a great time. Most plans, you vote in annually with your board or whatnot. But it's always great to do an analysis on what your 401k offering is. Probably you have a network of other banking, credit union, HR representatives, to just do a little survey. Typically, a trade organization, we have mass bankers over here, or the CCUA, Cooperative Credit Union Association, but typically your trade association might have this data too, but find out what other of your colleagues are offering for 401k match and safe harbor and all that. And make sure you're competitive, because it's the right thing to do. And two, it helps you attract and retain talent. And that is so important right now. But also, don't be afraid to look outside of financial services, because it doesn't mean that because they're a colleague in bank or credit union world that they're raising the bar. Most of us are just looking around to see what the one next to us is doing. Okay. And if it's like, hey, if you do it, I'll do it. Like, no, that's not, you're better than that. Okay. You watch the Carrie show here at Bank Smart Studio. You're better than that. You know more. Okay. We are informed here. All right. And you might not be watching live. You might be watching on the replay. Shout out to the replay crew, by the way. Whether you're driving home from work at night, you're on your break, you're here in the morning, on your commute in, you're doing your hair, combing your beard, maybe you're on the treadmill at the gym, whatever it is, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's see if we can get to 60 subs. Okay, we are at 57. 60 would be wonderful. That's just 3 more. I'm sure there are 3 of you that are watching that are not subscribed right now. You know what to do. Okay. But it's so important to be helping our team members and educating them. We're financial institutions, for crying out loud. All right. Like, if we're not helping our team and educating our team with these things, what are we doing? So it's always a great time. If you're an HR professional, like I said, know when your plan is renewing, when you have to get it in front of the board, and start early, because sometimes this takes a little coaxing. Put together a proposal. See what places are doing outside of credit union world, what you could be offering. And I think that'd be really helpful. Maybe there's additional incentives to save, right? I know, I'm just going to use an example. I worked somewhere where we were very much supported the United Way. And there's an annual United Way campaign where we had money come out of our paychecks if we wanted to allocate it. And we could choose the allocation amount, and it would come out biweekly. And then the bank or credit union, whatever, would match the total number. And if you increased your amount, you were entered into a raffle for a bunch of prizes. Like, we did Red Sox tickets. There was gift cards, like whatever it is, to like incent participation. The same thing around like health plan stuff, right? Participating in health challenges. Why not do that around 401k? If you have someone increase their percentage by 1%, there could be a raffle for a prize or something. Like, build some excitement around it. Build in some education. You know what you don't do? The one time of year you have your 401k representative do a webinar for an hour. Like, bore me to death. All right, if I'm 21 and you have the boring person from insert plan name here, I don't understand it. Get me an adult that can like translate for me. All right. Cause like, thank goodness my HR rep was asleep at the wheel at the time and just casually mentions that I should just put in whatever I want. Cause she didn't counsel me, but she, like, whatever it was that she said prompted me to be like, yeah, I'm going to put in 10%. Thank goodness. Cause if I had said like, oh no, I'm just going to do 1, I would be so far behind. Maybe if I put the match in, that would still be good. But like, it was just pure luck. Pure luck. And if we have team members that are choosing between, like I said, saving for a house, saving for retirement, or just putting food on the table, if we're not stepping in and doing anything, shame on us. So think about that. Take that as a takeaway, how you can help um, with them saving for retirement. I think that is absolutely huge. That's so important. Um, and setting them up for success. So, and maybe it's not just helping them save, but it's giving them the resources, the ability, the knowledge, all put that all together. Um, Similarly, anyone offering like specific home buying programs for your employees or down payment savings. I think I've seen places that not necessarily for just employees, but they offer like a down payment savings account. I do not have any examples to show you, but it's something that I've come across my feed. So if there's any creative ways that you could also, and I know there's like fair lending stuff, right? Insider lending, you got to be careful with that. If you fall under like Rego or anything. Um, but like ways you can actually build programs that help empower your team to save for a home down payment. Get creative. Maybe like, okay, so this is something that's really important to me. Fridays are for passion projects. I tell my team this. And clear your schedule on a Friday and just like brainstorm crazy wild ideas and flush them out. Don't just like really like put some thought into it. And like you could make something incredible happen. I like believe that genuinely. Like we don't do enough for our employees. And if we can't always compete on price and salary, if we can compete on knowledge and benefits and support, that would be incredible. Incredible. So just think about that. And if anyone's offering any of these type programs, drop them in the chat. I would love, love, love to see about it. No one is, yep, I'm checking the chat. Yeah. If anyone has anything, like that would be so cool. I would love to highlight it. I would love to talk about it and share and learn more. I think that's really, really awesome. And we have so many people. Thank you. Oh my gosh, so many hearts. Thank you. I love that. Um, cool. Cool. So now we're going to get into some lore. Now this is about interns. It is intern season. And now, if you are on the ball, okay, as a financial institution, you are typically posting your interns in February or March, doing a call for interns. That's when interns start looking. And you can call them whatever you want, co-op, student, like whatever it is. We're going to call them interns here at the studio. And then you start to hire them and they come on board, like they start to get their acceptance like April, May. They start around that time, April, May, June, right? Depending on when they get out of school. I'm going to tell you my best intern story. Okay. All right. And then it'll turn into tips for you and your interns. Okay. Because you're going to learn. So, oh gosh, I don't even know what year this was. I feel like I did everything like 10 years ago. So this was probably around then. We're not going to pull it up, but it came up on my, on this day when feed in Facebook because I was hiring. So rewind. I worked at an organization. It was bank. And they were so good to me. They let me do pretty much anything. So we always had a call for interns, right? Around February. Hey, we're looking at our budget. Who wants to hire an intern this year? And of course, I was like, yeah, I want to hire an intern. That would be amazing. And the goal is to have some sort of like plan, some sort of value in it for the person. It's not just you need a sidekick to file papers or shred documents. Sure, if you had a big project need, that was an opportunity, but we wanted to be an employer that really, really provided value out there in the community. And that is just absolutely incredible. So I came up with this wacky idea. And my colleague Kate went along with me. We collabed, but I had this idea for what I called a brand experience intern. So I don't have a posting of the job description, but I'm going to pull this up. Because I decided that I wanted a brand experience intern. And it was about bringing our branch network to life. Um, it was pretty much a mashup of anything I wanted to do. So I say here, social media, graphic design, video, event planning, branding, like just like maybe it was event setup, maybe it was taking pictures or videos at the branch, doing stuff on social to highlight our branch network. This was going to be like choose your own adventure, right? If someone was good at something specific, we were going to like cater it to them. So I was hoping they had a little like social talent, some video stuff, whatever. And we posted it. So it was very confusing because I did not run marketing. And the head of marketing was like, why are you hiring a brand experience intern that has a lot to do with marketing and you didn't consult me and they're not reporting to me? I was like, yeah. Okay. Again, ask for forgiveness. This is really a retail focused role that I want to help feed content and bring the branch stuff to life. And we posted it, got a ton of applicants because it was like such a sassy job description. It was like, do you want to like work harder than a hungry perfume salesman at the Natick Mall? Like squirt, 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 squirt. You had to hustle. Okay. You had to be up for anything. So I did a series of interviews on the phone and it was so fun. So a lot of them had so much good experience. This is going to be the lore of how intern Kate joined us. And intern Kate, if you're watching, I had no intention of telling any stories about you, but here we are. She is my absolute one of my favorite stories of all time and like people that I've worked with. Not to be confused with Bank Smart Kate, different people. So we had to call one Kate and one intern Kate. This is intern Kate, the lore of intern Kate. And she happened to live in town where we worked, but she was abroad in the UK. And so I didn't realize that when I was like calling for like scheduling interviews, because I called her and I don't think she answered, but then I called back because I'm like, did something just disconnect? And I called her and she was like groggy on the phone and like, oh yeah, okay. Sh- and I'm like, oh my gosh, this person forgot the interview. They have sleep. That was not the case. I was like, she was on some sort of international plane. Like there was just and I'm hearing him thinking like this girl just rolled out of bed. She's not prepared. That was absolutely not the case. But I learned more about her and she talks about this like social program that she did for, I think it was an investment company in London. And all like she presented for their board. It was just like all this incredible stuff. And I'm like, girl, I do not care if you just rolled out of bed. We need to hire her. There were so many other qualified people, but the fact that like, she was in town, like she was going to be in town, like a girl from the community. She like knew what we were like, the vibe we were going for, had the social experience, and the fact that she would like do a presentation without even flinching. Sign me up. So we bring intern Kate on, and we had a plan for her, and we put it in like I think it was a smart sheet. If we use Trello, I don't know. I think we use Smartsheet on this one because like I was a Smartsheet girly, and we had like a plan for her every week, and she could literally just work independently and like go in and work on her work, upload it to the Smartsheet, and I would like look at it and we would talk about it, and I would meet with her here and there because now, mind you, I'm like a senior vice president, department head, like going in a bunch of directions. I was not around much, so although I offered her an incredible opportunity, there were times where she wouldn't see me for a couple days. But that was a great learning experience for her. How to work for an executive. Okay. And she was phenomenal. She was always good at texting and checking in. She understood my communication style. Very self-sufficient. And so we started with her with some like research. And we would set her up with different people to talk to, different research to do, different plans to put together. And if I wasn't available, she would meet with other Kate. And it was just so phenomenal. Okay. So we're going to talk about intern Kate and our adventures. So let me take this down. Let me find a picture. This is, how do I put this on the studio? Image, file. And I need you all to know that she has since gone on to be very successful. I'm not going to say it's a result of me because she hustled. But I am so lucky to be part of her story. So this is me looking as adorable as ever. Intern Kate in the middle, and then actual Kate on the right. So we, one of the things that we did is I taught her about shenanigans. So we had a lesson on shenanigans. And it was, hey, we're opening this new location in Framingham. We need a big splash. What we're not going to do is just do stupid postcards. We'll let marketing do that, okay? Keep them distracted, and then we'll do the fun stuff. Okay. We are going to collaborate with the brewery to launch a custom beer. Okay. And the custom beer isn't just about us. Okay. It's going to be for a cause. So a proceed of every sale for the beer is going to go to a charity of our choice. And was amazing. So here we are at Exhibit A Brewery in Framingham. They have since closed their tap room there and are reopening. Oh my gosh, none of you care about this, but I feel like I need to announce it for those that know the area. I need you to know that Exhibit A is reopening. EXHI. Okay. I believe it's like Williamsburg. Okay. So they are reopening soon in Williamsburg. All right. Hot off the press. You heard it here maybe first. But we were collabing with them. Actual Kate had met one of their general managers through a leadership class, and they just created this incredible partnership. And this, like, hats off to her. This was her entire idea to collab on this. I just was the one that took the heat and funded it because we had to pony up part of the cost for the brewing. And that was my contribution. That if this all shit went down and we got in trouble, because we also did it in the cover of darkness, that I would take the heat. Now here, intern Kate is not 21. And she was at the brewery with us, did not partake in any alcohol. But she actually brewed the beer. We did a brewing day, we did a canning day, and a labeling day. And she was there. I believe, no, don't quote me wrong, I might be wrong. She blogged about it. She took pictures. She did social content about it. Like, this girl slayed. Okay, glasses. Okay. So good. We did not just have her filing paperwork. She got like real world experience, like doing guerrilla marketing. And so here's, ooh, I didn't mean to do that. See, we don't show prep. We just have this on the fly. Maybe one day I'll be very sophisticated and I'll have this in a slideshow for you. But as you remember, the Bank Smart Tots were off yesterday. So even if I wanted to, why don't I show you before I show her again? Here's a picture of the beer. So it was called Liquid Tender. And what they did there at Exhibit A is they had limited runs called demo tapes, which was the coolest idea. So they had their regular rack of beers, and then they had demo tapes, which were done during limited runs. And then they had a demo tape fest, which happened once a year, where they brought in local recording artists or singers, and they did like a battle of the bands. It was just the coolest, funnest vibe. They did it at their tap room, and so fun. So we were on their limited run, but we became a permanent staple for their limited run. And every time we did a new batch, we had a new charity or nonprofit that we participated in. So we did like one of the dance Metro West, like a dance academy. We did an LGBTQ association, like out Metro West. And it wasn't just about being the big check for us. It was about creating a cool collab. We were featured in American Banker. We actually had, was it Lauren? Who came? So, our good pal Brian hooked us up with a reporter in the area that came down and actually came to the brewery with us and got to see it all on site. I'll find the article, but it was like so fun. And she did a great job and we had an awesome time and she actually got to test like some of the beers with us. And so we did a different charity each time, and it wasn't just about the big check picture. It was about being more than that and creating awareness for these different nonprofits and highlighting them and collabing with them. And it was like they would reshare our story and we would share it. And it was just such a feel good like community and a moment. And yes, did it bring new business to our new branch and awareness? Hell, yeah, it did. It was so amazing. Like it was just, oh my gosh, it was a great idea. Okay. You don't need to copy it. You can. I'm not saying this is like the secret sauce for everyone. But it was like such a perfect storm for us that it worked great. Side note, I we were in a really good spot in this culture. Where imagine this, you're just like an executive and you're trusted to do your job. Isn't that weird? I find that that's really rare nowadays. But I was just trusted to do my job and people said, "Yep, she knows what needs to be done." So I remember the day that we're launching the press release and we go into the CEO's office with I think we gave him 2. Yeah, so we had 2 6-packs of beer and a press release draft and said, "This is going live in a half an hour." And he's like, What is this?" Um, Now, if you're a crusty old CEO or a crusty young CEO that wants to overthink everything, and you're going to say, "Oh, well, what about the reputational risk? And this is stupid. And why didn't you run this through legal? And blah, blah, blah." You know who I'm talking about. Like, overthinks everything, can't make a decision. All right. You know that kind of person. All right. I've seen them more recently than not. And it's super annoying because you don't trust your team. This particular CEO trusted and was like, "What? Okay. First of all, I'm just a little confused because like I haven't heard of this before. I'm the CEO, but okay, we'll get past that really quickly. So tell me about it. How's it going to help us?" "Yep, cool. Okay, it's beer. Love this. You brought me beer." "Oh, and by the way, now I can brag to my other mass bankers friends because it's getting picked up in American Banker magazine. Now you're talking because what do I like more? I like press. I like results." And I like a team who can execute. That is the kind of CEO you want to work for. Okay. That is the kind of executive team you want to work for. The ones that support you and the ones that let you do these kind of ideas. And it was absolutely phenomenal. We ended up doing like fun raffles within our team to allow them to come to different brew days or canning days to get other team members involved because you start to get this like, how come they get to go do brew the beer? Oh, you know what? Because I'm a senior vice president and I've worked my ass off and my intern gets to come with me. Okay. That is why. All right. She's a college kid. And if her one experience is her doing something right in her life and she got to join my team as an intern, she gets to brew the beer. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. But if you want to complain, you get to be entered into a raffle and you get to come brew beer. I could tell stories about that. Maybe we will. But this was just like so cool. And it used some of our branding, which was amazing. And the guy that we were connected with at the brewery actually does all the labels himself or did all the labels himself. He was such a phenomenal designer and they were just all so creative and fun. And this ended up on a t-shirt. It was just like such a slam dunk. And so let me find this picture. Intern Kate. Here she is again at the brewery. That's her taking the cans and putting them into pallets for distribution. They were it was on tap at their tap room, but it was also available at distributors and some restaurants. So it was kind of a big deal. So a lot of the Framingham restaurants had this on tap and it was sold at different. So my husband did get some of the beer. I was able to secure it at one of the liquor stores in Hudson, which was phenomenal. but this was just so fun. And so like for her, she got to do the whole life cycle of a campaign, from the brainstorming, the coming up with the idea, the execution, telling the story all the way through, to actually doing it, to launching it, to having press there, to like doing socializing it and coming up with a social campaign, the hashtag, all of this. Like she was sitting at the table at all of our strategy meetings, and it would not have been what it was not for her. Like she slayed. So like intern Kate, man, she's out there doing incredible things. But like, I want to say I was there. I was there at the ground floor when we were canning beer. And she was just so phenomenal. And I had another intern. We're going to pull her up. Intern Kate came back for a couple years in a row for me. So I couldn't have been that awful to work with. And I also had, for a couple years, I have intern Lauren. I did not have multiple Laurens, but because I had an intern Kate, I also had an intern Lauren. So this is them working our big brand bash. We did a brand relaunch. And again, they were in it for part of the project, at the table, learning about it and also helping to relaunch it. They were so phenomenal. And intern Lauren, I'm going to joke around and say I have a NDA on her story and how she ended up with me. But she was also phenomenal, had a lot of energy, did want to work remotely for the beach sometimes, which was okay. we figured that out. Like, I'll just bring my laptop because I like have a house in Maine. Okay, sure, intern Lauren, sure. Our NDA allows you to do that. We're not going to talk about it. But she was really great. And actually, one cool thing about her, I'll just share a little tidbit. She her roommate at college was running this the TikTok for Dunkin' Donuts when it first launched. So she had actually built me a full TikTok strategy back in 2020 to launch a TikTok, maybe 2019. I'm trying to remember when she first joined. She joined the year after, or 2 years after intern Kate. Year after. So this was probably because intern Kate joined, I think, 2017. And Lauren 2018, 2019. Yeah, so it was probably 2019 when TikTok was first getting popular. She wrote me this whole strategy. It was phenomenal. By then we had a new head of marketing, and like the previous head of marketing was not interested in my shenanigans. We did not do a rogue TikTok. We thought about it because intern Lauren was very connected. And if anyone could pull off a rogue TikTok for the bank, it would have been intern Lauren, because there was no repercussions for her. That's part of the NDA. We're not going to talk about it. But she had a really good strategy and things that she could do. And I honestly think she would have executed like amazing. But we did not do that because my job was also would have been on the line. And it was at that moment where people were like scared of TikTok because like, oh my gosh, the Chinese are going to steal our data. This was like round 1 and it's going to get banned. This was like round 1 of the ban. And we can't do it. It's too scary. It's going to steal all our information. That and everything else in the world, okay? And now look what TikTok is. So we could have been there on the ground floor, but we weren't because people were scared. But I have to say, I wish I had her strategy that she wrote, because it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. She did such a good job. And I'm sure like her and I have caught up here and there over the years. I'm sure she is out there doing phenomenal things. Last I knew, she was doing marketing for a construction company. I do not know what she's doing now, but I'm sure it's wonderful because she was another smart girl with a great family. Now, why are we talking about this? Okay. It's intern season. You're hiring your interns. Okay. Or you're getting ready to hire interns. It's not too late. There are still people that didn't look for interns, or that interns that didn't look for jobs. So it's not too late. But what you need to know is you need to have a really great plan for them. Okay. Now there are some, if you're like an intern at a branch and you're just like a summer help, that's fine. There's plenty of that. You do not need to go above and beyond. You can, you should, but it's not like a requirement, because we understand that like within a branch, sometimes they're really being hired as summer help to just work a job and fill in hours for vacations. I get that. Um, for me, being the boss of an intern, I took that very seriously. I wanted to make sure that they got something out of it. Both of them had done recap like presentations. I don't believe I ever had them present them. I'm trying to think of if I did, but they put together recaps of their experiences. And one of the things that I had them both do, and I coached them with it, was a LinkedIn. So this is something that is very important to me. Both of them had either had LinkedIns, but they were like shadow accounts and didn't use them. So what we did was we spent a lot of time going through their LinkedIn, setting it up, putting that they work for the organization. I made sure that they connected with some of the executives there on LinkedIn so that they had a little arsenal of important people that they were connected to, we did photos for their LinkedIn to make sure that they look nice and polished. We put descriptions like so that I would have them work on that and then would come back and I would critique it or add some feedback and we would adjust it. They did a phenomenal job. And I don't know if this is something that they did in school. I believe Lauren had said that they were required to start one like as a profile in one of her classes, but it was never really a requirement to actually optimize it. So her and I did that together and I thought it was like a really great experience. And we also like added what they did. See, what I'm pausing is I'm thinking up of bringing up one of their LinkedIns, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to dox them like that. Okay, they deserve a little bit of privacy. Although I'm sure they're not hard to find. But we're not going to look at their no, we're not going to do that. Okay, erase. But I think it was a lot of fun. It was a valuable experience for them. I know it really helped with their professional development and intern Kay did have the opportunity to go for a job at another financial institution that was very sought after. And she ended up getting it out of like hundreds and hundreds of applications. And I'm going to say it was because of some of the foundation that we set working together. And we were known as a progressive institution. So working for us, working for me, her polished LinkedIn profile, the experience that she had at such like I'm going to say a low level, like you let an intern like run a social campaign. Like she did a bunch of like summer of social contests. Like if I could like hire someone, it would be intern Kate. Intern Lauren can run the TikTok strategy. Phenomenal. But like Kate was like so good at everything. Maybe it's a Kate thing. Maybe Kates are just like good at everything. But I wanted to make sure, and this is my message to you, if you have an intern, don't just have them shredding paper, okay? You can hire a part-time, like a per diem person to do crap jobs like that. If they're having an internship, give them something valuable, help them learn, help them grow, get them something on their resume. One of the cool things that I've been seeing online, and this is really what I want to end with and show you, is maybe we should have them on. Maybe we should do a panel of the interns and they can tell you what it actually was like to work with me. Drop it in the chat if you think that's a good idea. I've been seeing this recently. So this is just an example. This one is not an intern position, but I've seen them for interns and I didn't screenshot them. So I don't actually know who this person is, but they were given this really nice graphic to announce them joining the organization. I accept. I'm joining the Associate Development Program at First Citizens Bank, SVB. It's nicely branded. It got a lot of engagement, not necessarily possible. So it's got 27 reactions and 12 comments. Maybe that's just because they have a good network. But also, this provides some really great amplification of your branding. It looks professional. It also makes that person feel special and like that they're valued already. I'll give you another example. And this person I do know personally, well, professionally. Hold on. Remove from studio. So I worked with this program manager at a tech company. She was the program manager assigned to us, Poonam. She was phenomenal, like one of the smartest people and most organized people I've ever met. So she got a job as SVP of data and AI product strategy leader at Citizens Bank. I can only imagine she's doing incredible things there. But look at this cool graphic that they made her. New job, new chapter. This story is getting so good. And then they have a hashtag that goes with it. This is so important. So look at this, 156 reactions, 41 comments. Does she have a big network? Yeah, sure. But this really helps further their branding. And it looks so polished and so professional. And now let's assume that you're me, right? This is a hypothetical. And you start a new job as an executive in a market in your like hometown area, and it's a big deal. You're well known. Your family's deeply rooted in the community, and there is no press release. There is no social graphic. There is no welcome post. Okay, hypothetically, right? And now this isn't for me, okay? Because I had people knocking down my door asking me what was I doing going to a crap ass, hypothetically, small place. And I could have answered those questions. But as an organization, don't you want to like promote yourself? People, like if you have someone that's like, and this is just like an umbrella statement, rooted in the community, has a big name in the industry, like you want to highlight that as much as you can. Even someone that's not, right? If you're an intern, you want to be highlighting that you're giving back to the community with an intern program. All right? So they're like, you should be telling this story through and through and through. And it starts with the onboarding post. Okay? So if I could go back in time, I would create these for intern Kate and intern Lauren to add as an announcement to their LinkedIn. Now they're a little different because they didn't have them, and we built up their profile and kind of talked to them about like resharing the company content and stuff like that. But I could have had graphics like this for them where they could share, hey, I'm so excited, I'm being an intern. Maybe new hires today are a little more LinkedIn ready. Maybe they're not, but this would be a great opportunity to have these pre-branded posts for any kind of person in the organization, but especially if you're like an executive like Poonam is here and coming in an SVP role, there should be a post like this. If you wanted to further amplify that, if there was a more community connection, if there was some sort of industry connection, there should be a press release. You should have a kit of like things that you do, a playbook ready for stuff like this. If you're getting a new CEO, like there should be a playbook. It's not just like, oh, let's just, I don't know, we should, because you know how disappointed I was that I had nothing, or hypothetically, I would have nothing. And I would have to do my own post and then have someone say in the organization, hey, like, why are you posting that? You made your own graphic. Yeah, I did, because like you were doing nothing. And I need people to know and build excitement, like, because that's what you do in financial services and community building. You build excitement. Or is that why you're hiring me? Because you don't have a playbook. Okay. Anyway, erase. But I think this is a great opportunity. So most of you do not have your interns onboarded now. Create a graphic for them. Let me know when you do. I would love to see it. And I think it's so cool. I just get super excited about this stuff. And there's so much you can do with like such a small touch like this. And it would make them feel so welcome and help amplify your brand, because that's really what it's all about. And there have been so many organizations that are great at telling their intern story as they go throughout the year. They post bios about their interns. They have like intern roundtables with executives where they don't just meet their unit, they meet larger units. I think that's so important. They have like intern recap presentations. Like, make something out of this. Make it a big deal. And I gotta tell you, I was in a position where I said, hey, we're doing an intern program, right? Oh, yeah, we're going to do an intern program. You can arrange it. Great. Love that. Collect all the information from all the departments that want interns, approve the ones that we were able to approve, and then come up with a game plan on here's what we're doing. Hold on. That was my cough telling me it was time to stop talking, Carrie. You're getting too sassy. Hold on. You're getting too sassy. Okay. And then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're not doing that. Who authorized you to go forward? I'm so confused. You told me I was in charge of the intern program. Oh, we don't have time. We don't have resources. We're busy. Okay. Let me tell you, if you're too busy to take on an intern, as an organization, you need to rethink yourselves, because I feel like everyone should have an intern program. It can be small, okay, but it is so valuable and such a great way to give back to the community and up and coming students, and really poises yourself as a great community partner, and also creates a nice feeder pool. Like, so the thing that I regret the most about intern Kate is we were not able to offer her a full-time position. I would have fired people to have intern Kate on the team. But she really needed a marketing role, and marketing knew better than I did, and they wanted to bring their own colleagues in. And we did not have a spot for intern Kate, but I'll tell you, that was for the better, because she did greater and greater things. But it's a great way to get in talent. I'm not going to say for cheap, but already groomed talent, ready to go, already understanding the culture, already you don't have to train them. You already did that work. And they're smart, and they're oh my gosh, there's just so many good things I could say about an intern program. So if you don't have time, you're stupid. Sorry, that was rude. You need to make time, because an intern program is so important. Okay? Okay. We will end this on a non-sassy note. I will put my regular glasses back on. Well, my new regular glasses. Okay. So we talked about financial literacy, financial capability, America's Saves Week. We talked about home buying or not home buying. We talked about the lore of intern Kate and intern Lauren. We talked about creating an intern program and nice little ways that we can make our interns feel loved and welcomed and get a lot of value out of their program. Is that enough for today? Or yeah, I think that's good. I could talk to you guys for hours. 1, because I love to. 2, because I had no grown-up time this weekend. But it feels so good to be back here at the studio. We will be here again on what day? You guys know this. When's our next show? Thursday at 10, same time, same place, here at the studio. So again, be sure to stay social, like and subscribe. You can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, and a little bit of TikTok. We're going to be ramping that up, because I have a goal of working on my short form content. It may not be good, but I'm going to do it, because we don't have to be good at it. We just have to do it and show up, and then we're better than most, right? Showing up. All right, everyone. Thank you so much, and stay social. We'll see you later.
Wait, where did she go? Why is this still on? Bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye!